Gabby, you've been swamped. Good. I'm glad to hear you've been swamped on. I'm hoping that you're going to tell me in a good way, right? Yep. On the horizon. Let's see. David High. H-I for the last name. Okay, David? David, are you a guest or are you a member? And that's my dog. Telling everybody hello.
Oh.
John Jones. And John's note taker is here. Maria's note taker twice.
Well, David, we're glad you're here.
Melissa Jennings, welcome. Peter, Phil, welcome. We got a couple of Ray's note takers here. How do we have so many note takers, Gary?
It's called AI. It's built into Zoom.
Okay. Rhonda, welcome. Rhonda Senegal, welcome. Robert Iverson, welcome. Sammy Lee, Sita. We got some of our Chinese folks. Now, are you folks in China or are you stateside or in other countries with us? Guest of Bruce. Okay, very good. Guests are welcome. Guests are welcome.
Hey, Bob, we ought to cover the language, how to get it going.
Yeah, I was just getting ready.
Have you tried that, Bob? Because I wasn't able to get it to work last week.
The captions?
It doesn't translate. Yeah, it just shows captions in the language you select if you're speaking that language. What? So if I started speaking in French, I would set it to captions in French. But it doesn't have a built-in translation. Unless you saw it, I didn't see it.
Well, I never saw it, but I never had anybody tell me any different either.
Yeah, me either. That's why I was like, okay, did they change it? Did it break? But they said, Zoom said it's not a feature in there. That's something you have to have like their top business plan to get that translation feature.
Then why even have this? Why even be able to go and change
for people who can't hear?
Caption?
For people who can't hear. So if I'm speaking in Spanish, you set it to Spanish. So it knows how to properly.
If you're speaking in the language.
Yeah. It shows the language of the speaker, which doesn't seem very helpful.
No, that's not going to be helpful at all. It needs to translate our English into their language.
Right.
On closed caption.
Yeah, and I'm not able to.
Okay, there's only a certain group, Melissa. We are not in meeting mode. We're in webinar mode. And the folks that you see with cameras on are part of our leadership. Yeah. Now, Bruce is saying that they can change the language, so I don't.
Yeah, but when you change it, it doesn't translate.
Wow. Can't believe somebody didn't tell us that right away.
I mean, it looks like it would work that way, right?
Well,
I mean, the way you choose your language. But when I go to show captions, I say my speaking language is what language. And that's your only option. Then you have all the languages come up.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it right here.
I just tried it and it doesn't work. I tried it in French and it's showing English whenever it's CC.
Huh. Yeah. Yes, that's correct, Melissa. Are you a member, Melissa? Are you a guest or a guest of somebody? Yeah, Bruce, that's all right. I've been telling this story for months and months and months, and we've had nobody ever come back and say that it wasn't working. So I just assumed that it was working as it should. So something we need to look into, Gary. And Gary's left the building.
Like the
gentleman, Gary has left the building.
All right. Give me 1 minute, guys.
ChatGPT is so helpful. Their second suggestion, if I don't have the right Zoom plan, is to get a live translator. Thanks, OpenAI.
Folks, if you're not up in the very top up here, having your camera on or not on won't make a difference. Nobody's going to be able to see you. The only ones that be visible are up here at the top, at least in this format I have. So if you're not a panelist, we won't see if you have your camera on or not. It won't make a difference. Hey, you gonna hide, Peter? Okay.
Okay, so here's the hack from OpenAI on how to use it do it for free. On your phone, open up Google Translate and then turn on the microphone option and put it next to your speaker, and it will live translate on Google Translate.
Good, good. I hadn't
It's the
thought about
freest
that.
way you can do it.
All right. All right. All right. So, probably most everybody knows that I've been absent for a few minutes of our last several get-togethers, and I was out of town last week with Gary. I flew down. Just a quick catch up on that. So I flew down to Florida to meet Gary in person. Yes, Gary and I have known each other for 17, 18 years, but we had not actually physically met yet. And my hat that you see here was a gift from Danielle Dalpay himself. He gave Gary a hat, one of these, and me one of these. Of course, those of you that may not know who Danielle Dalpay is, he is our CEO of Des Alps, and he is a born again Christian, and he's a man of God, and very, very much so. And so that is a prevalent thing with our group. We have Gary, well, not counting the free people, what, about 20,000
Roughly,
paid in so far,
Yeah.
right? And we have a little story that we share about that, because this is going on our 9th month with this project that we are getting to get off the ground, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, so we can get some training done, because that's what we're here for. And we have been blessed, Gary and I, to be able to meet these guys. And so we met Danielle, and we also met one of the admins that nobody's actually met yet except for Gary and I. And he is his name is Mario, and he is a longtime boyhood friend from when they were 9 years old back in Canada. And so for those of you too that don't know this part of the story, this was a concept of Danielle's and another person that's within their organization by the name of Claude, and they came up with this about 10 years ago. 7 years ago they started looking at it a little bit harder. 4 years ago they got serious about this, and then put things into motion. 9 months ago it was brought to Gary. Gary brought it to me. We took a look at it, and then within the first week we had built a team on paper, because there was no link and there was no website. We couldn't even use you remember, Gary, we couldn't even use the name of the company.
Couldn't even use the name of the company back then.
Right. And
We
so
did, but we did a little bit, but we
yeah,
pushed the envelope.
we cheated a little bit, but we stayed compliant with them, and that was the main thing. And the first week we brought in well, Gary and I started with our two. Okay, so, and we've maintained that even through today. We've only have our two personals, but yet we have 20,000 paid in, about 3,000 still to pay in, that paid the $45. And then we have another 110,000 now, Gary. Is that right?
131
In
last.
total. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we've got Gary and I. Now this is not the company. This is just Gary and I. We have 130,000 in about 70 some odd countries right now. Our biggest concentrations are in India and Asia, or China, as it were. And some of those folks are here with us tonight, and we appreciate you being able to take time. And as I appreciate everybody, before we get started, taking time out of their night. And yes, in the past 8 months, we've put this together, and we continue to grow. Now we are on pause, and again, we're going to answer this later in the event that we're doing here. But we are absolutely now, this live Thursday night platform is the official product, because training is the product. The company will be putting training modules in the back office, which is a new back office that we're getting built for all of you that already have a back office. That is not going to be the back office, but there will be training modules put in there. And until that time, we will continue doing these live every Thursday, which is when you log into your back office, you'll see that in the update. We got a new update getting ready to come in from our update Zoom that Denis did last night. And then also we have our link to our YouTube channel, which is all our recording. So Gary, I would say we're pretty blessed, right?
I would have to say we are.
Absolutely, absolutely blessed. And I'm happy here to have Jeff and David. And Jeff and David are both group leaders. And what does that mean? That just means that in order to be a team leader with our format, a team leader of communities, as it were, because we are one global community. So they are team leader, and Jeff is here in the Tulsa area. We live in Glenpool, just south of Tulsa. So Jeff has a group of over 62. So that's why he's a group leader. And David has a group of a lot larger than that. David, how big is now? We're not talking about the free side at the moment. So your paid team, how big is your paid team now?
It was about 12 to 13,000 before we cut everything off, and then it grew to over double that. So
Yeah. Yeah, and
that's
again,
kind of where we
David
stand.
is my leader, and so these guys are city leaders too. Now, what does that mean? So in Oklahoma, where we reside, we have two major cities, Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And why are they city leaders? Because we are also, while we're building online, we have already started building offline, which means that we are going to be doing the old school hotel meetings like used to be done back in the 90s, before there was the internet and before there was all this technology that we have now. And yes, we're going to continue building online, obviously, but we are going to build offline. And we already have teams in Asia building offline. We have teams in India building huge offline, teams in New Zealand and Australia building very big already offline, having their own private meetings. So that kind of gives you up to date with that. Gary, you got anything before we do some training?
Oh, I think we want to get into the training here tonight. Bob's gonna have the biggest piece, but I got one little tiny piece I want to show everybody that's unique and different.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do yours,
Okay,
and then I will do what I'm going to do, and then we will have a Q&A, and we'll sign off for the night.
you got it. Okay, I'm gonna share my Facebook page, one of them. I'm gonna drop all this other stuff down out of the way. That's my wife. We gotta get her out of the way. So guys, the biggest thing we do in the business, and some of you've seen some of the things I do with social and some things Bob and others do in social marketing. But what happens when you post an ad or image or a link in Facebook? Now I can't read the chat, so let me see if I can pull it over there.
Hey, Lou, can you help with chat, please, for a minute? Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to put a link in here, and we're going to talk about what this link is for those that are on Facebook at all. And this looks like an image, right, guys? Everybody see this? So I want somebody to go to Facebook and find that post that's in my friends list. If you're somebody in my friends list, go there and find this image for me. Let me know that you have if you are able to see this. Bob, you may be the one to have to click it. Now, take a look at what you have there for a second. Free MLM training, no tricks or fees. Better than most that sell for thousands. Anybody found the ad yet? Or the post? Oh, there we go, Rhonda.
Okay, you can see it.
Guess
Chat.
what
Okay.
it just did? It captured the email and name and phone number in Facebook, guys. In Facebook, it captured the information if it got filled out. Now, I have not redirected it to a landing page. It went to a double opt-in page is all it goes to right now. Okay. Here real soon, and I didn't have time to do this. I want it to go to redirect to the doc I have on my drive with the free MLM system, but it also has the Zalps ad and links and videos on that page. And it gives them a reason to, gives them the benefits of the company that we do, right? So we're taking this to a new level. Now, when you post, and next week, maybe I'll have this redirected next week so you can see the whole thing and the whole how it works. But now when you go to social marketing, you walk away with what? You walk away with their information and their phone number. Now, if they click this ad, do I have at least a little bit of interest there? Come on, guys, we're interactive here. We participate, right? Now, any list mailer, any mailer that you have allows you to make a template that either you host yourself or they host it, right? They host it. So this one happens to be Aweber, but all of them have this ability, and if they host it, it's a link. If you host it, oh, that's my ex-wife wanting to call Shirley. Bear with me, guys. Hey, excuse me, guys. Let me mute for half a second. Hey, Shirley.
Let me know in the chat if you found that image from Gary. Ah, he's back. There we go.
Sorry about that, guys. That was my first wife trying to get a hold of Shirley. They just happen to be very good friends. Okay. The purpose of this, of doing this right here is what, guys? What does this do for you? Now, remember, we're only seeing half of it right here. We're only seeing half, right? So here's my question. Oh, great. Here's my question to each of you. What social sites could you use this on? Yes, it builds a list. Most all of them. How about Pinterest? Can you put an image on Pinterest? Could we use this? Could we use this on Reddit? Okay. What else can you think of that we could use this? Almost everything, right? So now, Instagram, perfect. See, all of these, if they click it, you get their information, right? Now, the real trick is deliberate. Let me go over and change my doc. Okay. So the real trick would be redirecting that once we have their information, redirecting it over to this page right here, which is nothing more than a doc, but it appears like a page, right? So if we can get their attention on here from where they were, now, guess what? People don't always act in one day, right? So we set up a series of emails that highlight the benefits. How about that? Would you say that that section right there highlights the most advantageous benefits that we have? Give me one if you think that would have their attention. Okay, so we base a real short email series and we start out advantages of the opportunity that have never been seen before. That's almost a whole email by itself, right? So we set up a series of automatic emails, 1 through 5, 1 through 7, however you want to do it. We know they've seen this page. We link back to this page from our email to get them to come back here. Now, at that point, what do you think the odds that you have of actually signing this person up? What's your percentage? What would you guess? Come on, guys. 75%? That's a good number. I'd be happy with that. Right? Anybody else? Guys, would you be happy closing 75% of cold calls that come from social marketing? Would that make you happy? Yeah, I'd be happy. I'm happy with that. Okay. No question. So that what we'll do from here, I could keep going, but I think Bob's got a section he wants to really cover. So we'll dig a little deeper into this next week, if it's okay with you guys. Yeah, 30%, I'd be happy with that, really. You know? All right. Bob, I'm gonna stop my share.
All right, very good, very good. Yeah, if you all got some value out of this, show Gary some love and some high fives and all that kind of stuff. Let's show some love. Right down there's a part when you scroll over there for reactions. Yeah, let's show the love.
Guys, how many of you have ever seen anything like that before? Has anybody ever taught you anything like that before?
Hell, I haven't seen that yet, Gary.
Yeah.
That's going to tie. It's going to tie right into what I'm going to talk about, especially
Oh,
dealing
perfect.
with Facebook.
Perfect.
So, so speaking of such things, because the agenda was that, let's just say again, we are DesAlps, and so what is our product? Our product is training. Okay, so you get to do what? You get to reach out to people and offer them a way to come to free training. Give me a 1 if that makes sense, that you can reach out to people. Let me get my glasses off here. Reach out to people and offer them something that they're probably not getting. Okay, because there are differences in training. Okay, a lot of companies have some type of training, and some of it's good, some of it's bad. Give me a 2 if you never got training from anybody before now of any consequence. Give me a 2 if you have not got training that did you any good. Okay? If you got quality training, give me a 1. We want to know about that because I want to go see it. If you've gotten quality training before doing business with us, give me a 1, okay? And go ahead and throw it out there in the chat where you got that training from. We want to know because, hey, we want to be the best of the best. And if you got quality training, we want to get that shared with people, right? Because that's what we're doing. We are sharing training that most people don't even do, and especially not for free. Okay, what Gary just showed you, okay, was a little bit, I would say it's going to be at the level that he showed right now is, I would consider that intermediate to advanced. Okay, and so what does that mean? That means that we sit on a platform called Go High Level. If you know about what Go High Level is, give me a 1. If you don't know what Go High Level is, give me a 3. If you know what Go High Level is, a 1. If you've never heard of Go High Level before in your life, a 3. So we got some 3s out there. Hey, Lou, you there?
Always.
Give them a quick overview of Go High Level and our room, please.
Mhm. All right, let me pull it up here. This was not in the script, so I wasn't ready here.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. I got you.
All right.
Just a quick one.
Yeah. Pulling it up
And then
now.
we'll put the link to the room in the chat before we leave.
All right. You should see it there. Okay. So let me get this out of the way. All right. So this is our community. So this is one feature of Go High Level is the community. And very important thing, if you're going to post in our community, make sure you put it in the right place. Okay. So basically you come in and you're going to have the announcements, people making introductions, who they are. Hey, this is who I am, right? Discussion. So if you have a thought, an idea, that kind of thing goes into discussion. The leadership will put the FAQs in here. Our recordings will end up in here. And then any encouragement advice. A lot of people like to share encouragement advice, like it's such and such day. Don't forget to do this, drink some water, that kind of stuff. So all that shows up in here. And then the home just kind of shows you all the stuff that's been added throughout all of them. There is a little over here on the right. There are links to your back office, our why video, and our how-to video linked right here. Your interface is going to look a little different than me because I'm an admin. But then you'll also have the ability to track. We're adding some learning videos, and we get those videos from DesAlps and other places. We're going to add actual courses in here. You can see who's a member here and reach out to them. You can chat, leave messages to them. There's a leaderboard. There's a little bit of a gamification, and it's not based on likes and it's not based on posts. It's based on replying, commenting on other people. So the more interaction you do, the better you'll do in the game. That's about it. If you go to the About page, you have our why page and some information about what we're doing here and that sort of thing. Any questions, comments, thoughts, observations, inquiries, snide remarks, threats, demands, quips, quibbles, or queries?
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Brother Lou. And as long as you are a paid member right now,
Yes.
we haven't opened this up to free people yet. We're thinking about that, okay? Because we do have 100,000 people around the world that they're only free because they have not been given the opportunity to pay yet. So Gary and I will be talking about that later. So yeah, Amy, laugh out loud. Give everybody Amy some love, please. She needs some love and prayers because she had a little accident on the way home tonight and took out a deer. And unbelievably, the vehicle didn't get took out, but it did take out the deer. So we are about a moment of silence for the deer. Okay, moment of silence for the deer. Prayers for Amy that she's okay. All right, yeah, this is how we roll, friends.
All right.
And friends and family and guests and everybody that's here. Okay.
All right. So Gary, Bob, you're to teach now?
Yeah.
All right. So Gary, let's turn off our cameras and mics so we don't distract him, because we know how distractible you are, Gary, with those
And
dashing looks.
I'm going to share my screen, so I'll need one of you guys to monitor the chat. All right.
Gotcha.
Before I share the screen, let's do a little bit of engagement. We're talking about product. Okay. What are we talking about? We're talking about it. Give me a 1 if you've ever heard the term, I am a product of my product or products. Give me a 1. If you've never heard that, give me a 2. I am a product of my product or products. I see Lou has not heard of that one. Okay. All right. Lou happens to be a pastor of 2 different churches. So Lou is doing a little bit of fibbery there. Good. Good. Looks like we got everybody there.
I'm not fibbing, sir.
All right. Let me make sure that we got everybody. Yeah, I don't think everybody answered that question. If you don't know, hey, look, this is why we do training. Oh, here's a couple of 2s. All right, all right. So, what does being a product of my product or products means? I'm going to pick on David. I love that. I love that. So, Amy Carpenter. Amy Carpenter knows the answer to this. Amy, what is being a product of your product? Come on, Amy. You don't have to think about this one. And it has nothing to do with you eating deer meat. That is not the product of your product. Are you there, Amy? Did we lose you, Amy? Okay, Amy, what does it mean when I say that you are a product of your product or products? What does that mean, Amy? Come on. I think Amy's in shock still. Anybody answer that question that knows? Anybody can answer it. Canute. You are only as good as your product. Yeah, that's partly. Branding yourself. No, that's later. Someone buys your own stuff and uses it. Yes. You are a product of your product as long as you actually use the products that you want to market. Give me a 3 if if that makes sense to you. That's it. Yes, you got to buy the product first, but in order to qualify being a product of the product, you must demonstrate somehow, some way that you use the products. If you don't understand this concept or where I'm going with that, give me a 1 and I'll back up. If what I'm saying doesn't make any sense, because our training that we do here is not just free. We are going to give you information that you can take back when you leave here and apply it to not just DisAlps, any business. We don't care what other business you're in. This is training for DisAlps. And we know that people that are in DisAlps are in other things, right? Okay, so being a product of product. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then we're going to talk about what it doesn't look like. Okay, and what it means by I don't want to see people taking their affiliate links and just regurgitating them in people's Facebook or TikTok or these kind of things, because you take a picture, a snapshot of your product, and you just throw it out there, and you expect what? Melissa, good point. I am a product of Happy Juice because I try to sell it and I use it. Okay, so you make a good point, Melissa, but we're going to stop trying to sell it. And I'm going to explain how and why. And if you're going to sell, okay, somebody may not know the answer to this, but I'm going to throw it out there before I go to share screen. If you're going to sell a product, okay, what do you market? I share my product or products. What do you market? Jeff is saying yourself. Results. Yep. You market the benefits. Bree, there you go. You market the benefits, and you market the benefits by doing what? Amy just told you all. Telling the story of the benefit or benefits that you get from one or more of your products that you want other people to try. Gary just said, never the features. Why? Why haven't I not talked about features? Why do I not talk about cost? Because it's not relevant. Cost and features are not relevant. People don't care about the features. People don't care if you're making money with it or not. People don't care. That's not the story they want you to put out there. And I'm going to prove that to you. There you go. There is a benefit. David benefited from a product or a combination of products. Why? Because he wanted to do what? Come on, somebody throw it out there. What did David want to do? And he made a decision to buy some products and try them. He wants to get more customers, but how's he going to get customers? He's just going to get customers because he's going to throw it out there? Exactly. Nice joke, Bruce. It's not April Fool's. Results. The benefits of a product, not the ingredients, not the breakdown of the ingredients. Those are things that you want your potential customer to go in and do their research on, because that's what people do now. People research products for what? For understanding what's in them versus what's not in them. Understanding what the ingredients are that they know that they don't want to put in their body. These are the things that you need to know about your product or products. Okay? If this makes sense so far, give me a 5. If what I'm saying makes sense so far, give me a 5. If I've got you totally confused and you're lost and you just lost, give me a 1. If you are, give me a 1. Because you've got to get the beginning version of what we teach. We're going to teach you the beginning versions of all kinds of different things that you are not being taught, I can assure you. Okay, so let's back up and recap real quick. So to become a marketer of a product or products, to get people to want to try your product or products, you first have to be a product of that product or products, and you have to have a definitive benefit from that product or products that solves a what? What does the benefit of a product or products have to solve? Problem. Very good, Melissa. Knut. Yes. If you don't understand that, give me a 1. If you don't understand that, give me a 1. Because what we're going to teach you to become, besides a product of your product, is a problem solver. Because we are not salespeople. We are not salespeople. We are not, our goal and task is not to sell you something no matter what the price is, no matter what the features are. That is not our goal. Our goal is to teach you how to brand yourself by sharing the benefit or benefits of a product or group of products that solved your problem that you could not solve otherwise. You don't ever, after tonight, Melissa, I challenge you that you will never have to be a saleswoman, salesperson ever again if you are able to understand what we're teaching here and you take it and you apply it and then you come back to learn more. This is how you also attract people to this platform, because we have all kinds of people on this call right now that started out with us that didn't know anything about anything, and they have taken information and training, because we have it all recorded too, so you can later go back and go through it and stop, rewind, and that's the purpose of recording. We want people to live events because you get the benefit of all, right? Because we don't just tell you stuff, we get you engaged. And yes, I hated to be a salesperson, but you want to know something? I can tell you that I was probably the number 1 or number 2 salesperson in different industries for the longest times. And that's all I thought I was, a salesperson, until I learned this process. And I'm going to show you the results because the numbers do not lie. Okay, so I'm going to share real quick. We've got about 5 more minutes. Gary, you there?
I am.
I had to send a request to you. All right, so Facebook. Let me get some stuff out of the way. All right, can you see? Hang on a second. Can you see my Facebook page?
Yes.
You should see Amy with Ben Galinsky in that video. Okay. Get rid of that one. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Now, just so happens that I've been in Live Good for 2 years, and I am not here to tell you anything about the business. Business is easy enough to find out. What I am here to show you is why I attract people and how I go about doing it. Okay, so my Facebook page is designed to attract a certain type of demographic. Okay, it's going to attract people that want to do business with other people that have family, right? And part of that is looking at the intro, and you can see the intro. And then part of branding yourself is a pin post about you. Okay, and you're going to see some links over here on the side, and we're going to scroll through here. And what you're going to start seeing is the engagement that I have. 241 people with likes and loves, 252 comments and running. People shared this pinned post 64 times. Now, this is about my life. Okay, interesting, right? So let's keep scrolling. So where we're going is, and plus branding yourself involves content. finding the right content that speaks to you, that will speak to others. Okay. This is a new post that I've got up. So you can see it's just getting warmed up. This is my business post. All right. It's only been out here for a few months. This is my business post. I want you to see this. 123 likes, loves, so on. 126 what? These are people coming to my business post for what? Reading my business post of Des Alps and doing what? Somebody tell me what all these comments are. People asking for details. People want more information. And threads that keep going on and on and on. And I teach you this. This is part of Facebook Pro, which is free. Okay, here's another story about myself when I was in the hospital. It's trending very well. Right here. This is me promoting our training. It's 148 likes and loves, 209 comments, people wanting to know more about the training, wanting the link, which is in where? It's in this post. Okay. I teach you how to promote our training so people will come to you and come to your training. I also have what? Here's a replay. I get a lot of people that go to this replay because this is Dr. Stan Harris, also known as Dr. Breakthrough, who is a multi-millionaire, well-known author, public speaker, and works with people like Les Brown on the stage. That's who you get access to, folks, as we grow and we continue bringing in special guests. Correct. Okay, here is what I wanted you to see. Now, you see me, that's a picture of me, and that's not an updated picture of me because I haven't done an updated picture yet. But I started this post in October. Okay, and what is this about? Well, let's read it. I've struggled for over 10 years with every kind of yo-yo diet you can imagine. Nothing worked or lasted. Up and down, up and down. But 8 weeks ago, okay, 8 weeks ago, before October the 20th, I started noticing some small changes. Really didn't give them a second thought. The reality is, by taking small steps with my lifestyle and then focusing on adding supplements as I could, literally everything turned around me. So now what am I doing? I'm telling you some of my products that have given me the benefit. Okay. So the reality of all this is, at one point, 14 months ago, I was at 327 pounds. Now I get stuck at 297 for months. But I'm starting to tell you this story about factor 4, magnesium, our new detox formulation. Okay, and what are the benefits? It's lowered my blood sugar, improved my liver functions. How can I tell you that? Because I have doctors that will confirm that ask me, what am I doing? And with Lean 8, okay, over the last week, I've lost 22 pounds and 2 inches. And for the first time in 4 years, been able to keep it off and start exercising. Okay? And I go back and reflect on the fact that I was been a heart patient since 2012. Now my weight's down to 278. Now look here, February the 3rd. What do? I go in here and give you an update. And the update is I'm down to 263. I'm actually at 260 right now. I've got more strength, better energy, no pain in my joints or muscles now, which is because of factor 4, and another inch lost around my gut and chest. The detox combined with adding super reds and super greens is making a difference. And folks, I can qualify this because I've tried all kinds of stuff. And it's the benefits of how I'm taking these products. And I am a heart patient, so I take heart meds. So I had to get permission from my doctor, and I had to figure out how to make sure I separated my heart meds from what I'm taking to gain what I got. Now, no gym yet. That's correct, but I have a free membership with my what? With my Humana, which is going to be the next step. And I claim I am 68 years old, but I feel 48, and I absolutely do. My journey is just beginning. So now what am I doing? I don't talk about any features. I talk only about the benefits, right? I talk about the benefits. And what do I suggest you do? I don't suggest you go out. I don't tell you how much they cost. I don't need to tell you that, because what I want you to do is get your own what? Report, because I give you the chance to get a free health report that's written by real doctors who we have on our staff. And I can't tell you how many people are doing that. Okay, but here I can tell you how many people are sharing it. 52 times it's been shared already. And again, 148 comments and likes. Okay, give us a 1 if you see the value in how I'm doing this and the way that I'm doing this. We getting any ones?
Voted for Bear.
Okay, are you give us a 5 if you're getting some value now of what we're doing in teaching you to do what? To not sell, to not, you don't need to talk about the features. The features don't matter. The benefits of the product that you are using or products that you use are only what people want to see. And how do I qualify that? By these numbers. Now let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. Let's go and take a look at numbers. Now Facebook Pro is free to use. Okay, Facebook Pro is free to use. You see professional dashboard. You don't get that unless you are in it. And you click on Facebook, you click on that, and it'll show you got this drop down box, and I can turn professional mode off or I leave it on. Of course, I leave it on. Now let's go to the dashboard. Now, here's what I want you to see. My analytics are only for the last 28 days. I've had 19,552 views just in the last 28 days. I only have 6,700 followers, but it says my reach is 12,438 in the last 28 days. What does that tell you guys and gals? That tells you that I've got people coming back. 1,330 people in only the last 28 days are doing what? They're interacting, they're engaging, right? Now, here's your holy grail. Follows. My demographics are 3 groups of people: brothers and sisters in Christ, people that are in network marketing companies, and people that are in MLMs. And where do I get these people? From Facebook groups. And how much is it costing me, Gary?
0.
0. And what are followers? Followers are the exact demographic of who you are attracting, and they are organic. Do you realize I could sell these followers to people that buy products, people that buy services? I could sell because this is information that is sellable. And Facebook wants to monetize me now, so I can do all 3 of that. Now let's take a quick look here at some more information, and I'm going to show you something very interesting. Now this is a breakdown. Now, Gary, you can see the breakdown, right?
Again.
Okay, all I need you to look is my top 2. Okay, they track 10 different posts of content. What is my number 1 post right now, Gary?
5299 views.
Right. And what is that post, Gary?
Hey, look at there. That's the
What post is that, Gary?
That's Alps.
That is the business post, ladies and gentlemen. In the last 28 days, I've got 5,299 views. That's 28 days only. 1,617 reach, 300 and some interactions going. My links have been clicked 94 times. Now, let's go back. What is this second one? Biggest one right now. That's my story about being in a hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, people want to hear and see your stories. That's just a fact. And once you understand this, okay, Gary, how many?
Yes.
I'm going to ask the question right now. Give Gary a 1 if you want to learn how to brand yourself and become a product of your product or service and get 90 to 100 new leads every 28 days. Give us a 1. Give us a 1. We getting any ones, Gary?
Yes, it's loaded for bear.
All right. I'm going to stop sharing. If you got any value, give us the love, give us some likes, give us some high fives. Tell us how many people you're going to invite out of your team. Tell us how many people you're going to invite that doesn't even know anything about Des Alps yet to the next Thursday night. I challenge each and every one of you to do one thing, and all you got to do is one thing. Bring one of your team, but bring all of your team. Everybody that's got more than two, everybody's got 2 people or more, they're on this call. I'm going to prove it to you. Oh, let's do this real quick, guys. Real quick. If you have at least 2 people right now that are paid underneath you, give me a 1. If you have at least 2 people. Okay. Now, folks, what does that mean? That means that every one of these people that are showing you those ones are already in what? Somebody throw it out there. Every one of you all you're already in what, guys and gals? You're in profit with just 2 people. With just 2 people, you're already in profit. Gary, out of the 20,000 that we have paid so far, which is the only ones that could pay so far, what percentage of our community is already in profit?
Very close to 90 if it's not exceeding 90.
90%, not 30% like some companies claim, and they are rightfully so to claim it. Not 30%, 90%. Folks, why is that, you think? Why is that, Gary? Why don't you tell them how that happened?
Well, it happened because we decided to build this differently than the traditional way of building. We focused on 2, helping 2, helping 4, helping 8, helping 16, helping 32, and we structured it so we left nobody behind.
That's it. Give me a 2 if you understand what Gary just said and agree with that statement. Give me a 1 if what we're saying doesn't make any sense to you and you don't understand. It's important that you understand these things, because if you don't, you're not going to learn anything, which means that you can't go and ask people to come to training, because if it hasn't helped you, right? Okay, Sita, you give us a 1. So go ahead and everybody that's give us a 1, ask a question. Put the question out there. If you're giving us a 1, you're saying you don't understand what we're talking about. So so from what you've seen, give us a question. We want you to be able to understand, and we got to make sure that it's clear. So if you don't understand something that you've seen so far, just throw that question out there so we can get it answered for you. But we are going to have a quick Q&A in just a few minutes here.
Hey, Bob.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Lou if he'll close it out for me.
Yep.
I need to head to the other room for a second.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Mute it.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're going to do before we allow a Q&A to close this out tonight. I want 2 people that I've invited up here to give a quick testimony. Jeff McBee, are you out there, brother?
I am here. Yes, sir.
All right. Hang on, let me kill my camera. So, Jeff, how long have we known each other?
Oh my goodness. Um, Probably go back at least 10, maybe 12 years.
That sounds about right. That sounds
Yeah.
about right. But you and I've been separated for a while,
We have. I had to go back to Texas about 2017.
right?
My dad, was sick and we went back home for a couple of years. We moved back to Oklahoma, me and my family, right around early March 2019,
Yeah.
and lived in Broken Arrow for a minute. And then because I was with my aunt and uncle trying to get everything going for my family, I was able to get us a place, and we settled here in Glenpool, Oklahoma.
Right. And lo and behold, we find out that we are where are we between each other?
Well, we're actually down the street from one another. I can step out of my porch and see your house. You can look out the window and see my house.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
We're a stone throw away from each other.
this guy right here is we have an we have I call it MOGBIC because he's a man of God and brother in Christ together. And again, I told you that's one of our demographics, and it is a true demographic because people that care want to share not just of themselves but with themselves to help other people, and that's what we're all about. That's what this business is all about. This isn't about us. This isn't about us. But tell them real quick, Jeff. You started when, and how many people did you start with, and what does your team look like right now?
I started October, right around October 1st. You had called me up, um, told me you wanted me to look at something. And of course, I was hesitant. I've done a lot of things in the past, never really done a whole lot. But I went ahead and gave it a shot. And, over the period of the next 2 weeks, I jumped on a webinar. Then I jumped on another webinar. Matter of fact, I couldn't understand what it was first couple of times I saw it and, began to hear about it. It took a minute to sink in what it really was. And so, but I finally got it. I did. I finally got it. We started talking a little bit more about it. I jumped in and I told, probably 3 or 4 people at work. I just kind of talked to him and I didn't have to say a whole lot. I just told them what I knew. Right. And they were interested. So I got them jumped in right away. And from those first two, it just spread out. They told two, they told two, and then just so on and so forth. Right now, I've got right at about 156 people. And but I'm working full time trying to build this in the background. Full time in a ministry here in Tulsa doing some ministry work, and so it's a part time deal, and it's just boom. I mean, all you have to do is put the word out there of what it is, and it's such a different concept. People aren't used to. Once I began to tell people what it is we're doing, where I caught them was that both of them that I brought on board with me said that this wasn't like other, you know, multi-level marketing systems that they've ever seen before. This was different. And so it was attractive for them, the way I explained it, the way the business model is set up, the way it's presented. We're not busy making somebody up above us all the money. This is actually helping those below you, pull them up with you, and everybody's helping everybody. We're a community, and it's very attractive for them. So they got involved. I believe it was probably, I'm going to say about 6 weeks later. I called Bob up. These two that I brought in, they knew a couple that they wanted to all get together, and instead of everybody just getting together on different three-way calls, I said, you know what, let's just meet at my house. So Bob came down. I was here. We had about 7 people in the house, plus me and Bob that night. Went through the presentation, talked to everybody, and signed up 100% of the people that were here that night. And they
100%.
100%, yeah,
100%.
and I mean that's that.
Not in the hotel. Where
No,
were we, Jeff?
we're in my house. We're in my front room.
And we can't fill your front. We cannot hold your front room. Can't hold us now, can they?
No, no, no.
No, they
But
can't.
I only brought two. That's the whole thing. I brought two.
Exactly.
So I've grown to what I am today, but I only brought two. That's all it was.
So two of the people that Jeff talks about, real quick, so you have some perspective, were burnt. They've been burnt in the industry.
Right.
Okay, and they just got married, right? That correct?
They did. Yep.
And I'll never forget because they brought their little boy, and I got to talk to their little boy a little bit. And people think, well, that's kind of unusual. Well, yes, it is because we're not anything like anybody's ever seen before. And what we do and how we do it is nothing like what anybody has seen before. And because of who we are and what we do and how we do it, that's why we have gone just crazy in 70 countries right now, and so many people in such a short period of time. But here's the thing. These people were skeptical, and I love it because I addressed that. We didn't dodge any of that, did we, Jeff?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No,
Not at all. As
we
a matter of
embrace it.
fact,
We embrace
uh, Chris and his wife, I think they have a few people under them now, don't they?
They do. Yep. They got a little team started themselves. So
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So, hey, listen, Jeff, I appreciate you
absolutely.
again for all you're doing. And as I said, Jeff is one of my city leaders as well as our group leader, and so he is very instrumental. And for all you people sitting out there tonight listening that think, well, you know what? Hey, lucky. Nope, luck had nothing to do with it. I don't have much time. Let me repeat, this guy is in the restaurant industry of this business. Anybody that understands restaurant industry knows the kind of hours you have to put in.
Yeah.
That's first part. Second part, he is, because he's a man of God, he volunteers of his time, okay, in another ministry. Third part, he's a family man and has a family life, and that has to happen too. So if anybody wanted to, what I would say, feign themselves away from, hey, you know what, Bob, I like what I see, I like what I hear, but I just don't have the time, what would you tell them, Jeff?
Well, the first thing I tell them, it's just, if you just, if you sit still on this deal, you're going to get the results you're looking for. If you want to make something of it, it's here and you can make something of it. But it really becomes more about, for me, it did about time management. If it's that important to you, you gotta understand, first of all, what your whys are, why you're doing what you're doing. And if it's that big of a deal, you're going to find a way to get it done and you're going to manage the time that you do have. I mean, we have 24 hours in a day. Yeah, you got to work out some things and you may have to sacrifice some things, but you're going to find a way to get it done if it's that important to you. So,
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, I appreciate
yes,
you
sir.
stepping up and
You
doing
bet.
all that you do because you've come a long way. And Jeff will be the first one to tell you that Jeff and I have got it into with each other. But you know what? This is a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And Jeff started finding out what it takes to really run a business. And this is a fallacy and not just in the industry, but this is a fallacy in life, ladies and gentlemen, that until you actually run a business, and Jeff is running a business where he works, he has employees, he is actually responsible for a budget. He's actually responsible for food costs, labor costs, and so on. Because I've been in this industry, so I know what he's going through. And then he has a home. And if you think you don't have a business running your home, then you probably aren't paying your bills very well. But that
Right.
is a business in itself. But until you understand how to run these things and be profitable, or at least break even and make a little bit of money, even running your own home, you don't know until you do know. So, Jeff, do you think people can come to these kind of trainings and get any kind of a value for life skills, not just business skills?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This is this is generic for whatever. It doesn't, not just an opportunity. I mean, everybody's got a brick and mortar business, online opportunity, whatever they're doing, it doesn't matter, but there's definitely some life altering skills that are set here. Being able to budget your time, budget your money. Yeah, there's different aspects and angles to these trainings that can very much be applicable to everyday life.
Good,
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
I want to get David on here real quick before we
Okay.
close this out
You
for a
bet.
Q&A.
You bet.
You out there, brother Dave?
I am.
Well, David is one of what I call global leaders. Now, what is a global leader? A global leader's got a team of a minimum of 5,000. Now, you say, well, wait a minute. What do you mean 5,000? I mean 5,000, and I'm not talking about 5,000 people free just lollygagging around trying to figure out if this is something they want to do or not. These are 5,000 people or more committed So David, why don't you give them a real quick background, where you live, how you and I have known each other, and where you and your team have come from and where they are now.
Okay. I live in Oklahoma City, which is about, I'm going to say 80 or 90 miles from where Bob is, might be a little further. Bob and I did some marketing, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. Bob had his own platform and we teamed up. That's kind of how I met him. Um, we've kind of been friends, on Facebook too, chatting back and forth. I've still yet to meet him in person, but that's coming around the corner very shortly. And one day I got a message from him and he was really excited. And I thought, I'd had a lot of other people hit me up about stuff because I wasn't really looking for anything at the time. But since it was Bob, I knew it must be something pretty, worthwhile. So we got together, talked a little bit. He told me about it and I got excited. And I said, okay, let's give it a try. And so I just went to my Facebook and just did a little post. The next thing I know, I had 2 or 3 people asking me, "Hey, what is this? Hey, what is this?" Well, one of the guys that has really went to town with this, his name is Joe. He lives up in Canada, and lo and behold, that's where Des Alps is based. So he wanted to know a little bit more information about it. So what I did is set up a 3-way Zoom with Bob, and we talked about 2 hours. And Joe says, "Hey, this is wonderful. I'm all in." And so Joe went to work, and he knows a lot of people. He's been in marketing for a little while, and all of a sudden, man, people just started coming in left and right. It was just totally unbelievable. The people that he had contact with. Got another guy named Scott. He's the same way. And today I've only brought 2 people to this program because the way we build it, we want it to be built solid. And let me tell you, it's been a journey. I think we're in all over Asia. I don't know, I'm probably in, you know, 50 or 60 countries. Is that right, Bob? Something like that?
Yeah, your concentration is Asia and China, but yeah, you got people everywhere just like we do.
Yeah, it's just totally nuts, really. Never had experienced anything like that before. I own my own courier service here in Oklahoma City, so I stay pretty busy with that. I'm a single guy. I own my home and I have pets, so that takes a little time, but it's just been an amazing journey. I'm really excited about it. I've been able to help a lot of people. We've got a Telegram group, and my big forte is building sales funnels. So I've taught a lot of people how to build sales funnels and everything, and just staying connected to my people. And we're all just ready to go when this thing really takes off. It's just going to be a wonderful thing. I'm 63. I want to retire in October of 2026. That's the date that I have set forth. But with this, I'm thinking I'm going to be early. Bob and I have got some ideas of him coming here and us doing some meetings, maybe not in my home, but maybe in a hotel setting. And we want to grow offline as big as we have online and reach and touch as many lives as we possibly can. And I have a vision of doing it nationwide. I want reps in every state of this union. So, talking about retirement in October 26th, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to do this and help as many people as I possibly can because there's so many people hurting. So many people need this. And we're going to do it. I think that's what the Lord's called us to do, and we're in the right place at the right time with the right people. And it's not what you know in this world, it's who you know. And you couldn't be teaming up with a better set of partners. I love these Thursday night trainings. Not only do we learn marketing and things like that, but you get so much personal value out of this as well. So I don't know what else to say. It's just super exciting, and I'm glad to be a part of it and a part of with all these great people.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. So your paid membership right now has grown to what when we took the pause for reprogramming?
It was somewhere around 12, 13,000.
Okay,
And right
right.
now we're sitting at 33,640 that have came in after that. So
Yeah.
it's just amazing. I've never been able to accomplish that ever. And again, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's just been a fantastic journey.
And for everybody to understand, I gave Jeff the opportunity to speak because he doesn't have a team of 500 or 1,000 yet, but he will. Okay, so what you have to understand is Jeff is a few months behind us. Okay, it's like my wife is right there next to me because she's under me, and then my daughter's a couple levels down, and so she's above David. Okay. And so then my son come in and he's like 4 months behind. So my son's got a team about the size of Jeff. Okay. And so I'm focused on helping him grow next. But that's what we do. This is how we do this, that we all help each other. That's how you go from just having two community members of yourself personally and growing to teams of the size that we haven't even launched to the world yet, which is going to be next. We will, within 12 months of launching to the world, break 1 million paid members. Of that, there is no doubt. I can assure you we will have that. And so everybody that's here right now at this moment in time has the same opportunity. It all comes down to two things: your why, because your why will determine how bad you want to do something to help your family first. And once you learned how to help your family, doesn't it make sense that you're going to reach out now and start helping one new family, possibly a day, one day at a time? Give me a 2 if you agree to this and you're excited about the future potential with what we're showing you right now. And it has to have more than the money, right? That's why we have the training. That's why we're doing what we do, because it's more. The money is, yes, obviously the money goes to what use you decide you're going to put it to. Free will and choice. Everybody has it. Okay. But my family and I are taking ourselves to the next level. We are debt free. We are, as a family, debt free. Just simple as that. Okay. But our next journey is to teach people to become debt free, like David is, like Jeff will be. We're going to retire Jeff's wife first. Then we're going to retire Jeff. Then we're going to retire them and their family debt free. And they are going to be able to teach the same things. Give me a 5 if learning how to become debt free and then being able to turn around and teach others to do that by shopping online and getting paid to shop online makes sense and you love it. Is there any value here? If you're getting some value, show some loves and likes. Get interacted with us. Show some loves, likes, high fives. If this makes sense, if you get this, if you understand this, if you can see yourself, because where does it start? Where does it start, David?
Starts with you.
With you and how many people?
2.
Two people. Two people that are like-minded, that want to shop online and maybe not getting to shop for what they want to right now, but they have aspirations of that. And then how many people do you know that shop online? Right? But it only starts with 2. Then it's going to go 4, 8, 16, 32, and that's your nucleus.
Yep.
David, thank you for your time right now.
Yes, sir. I thank you, Brother Bob.
So stay with me for Q&A. So let's go real quick Q&A. We've got time for about 5 minutes of Q&A. If you have a question and it relates to DisAlps and it's not already in the back office, because what our expectation is making sure that once a day, everybody that's got a back office, you need to log into your back office. And it doesn't matter if the whole message hasn't changed. You need to do that so you get in the habit of doing it, because this is what you're going to teach your community. Okay, just like we have our room that sits on the Go High Level platform, right? Hey, Lou, would you put that back in there? If you're not a member of Go High Level and not a member in our room, and you are a paid member right now, you have the opportunity to join that, because that's where all of our communication and our training is going to be moving to. Our training is streaming right now on YouTube. We're streaming on YouTube right now. We got people watching on YouTube. We got people asking questions. Oh, how do you get to this training? Well, they get to the training through you. Get to the training through you. How many people do you need before you experience 11,000 a monthly? That's a great question. How many people do you think, Mr. or Miss Clark? How many people do you think you need? Well, you need your core. Your core is 62. Okay? Your core is 62. And when you're 62, catch up to you to your 5th level, you're moving right along. They're pushing you right along as you're bringing them with you. Right, David?
That's absolutely right.
Right. And how many people is that? I can tell you, it's a lot of folks. Okay? How fast is that going to happen? All right, David, let's just ask the question. How long did it take you when you started with your 2 to get yourself to level 5 and make your base of 10,000 a month right now?
Well, I started in September. I'm going to probably say, I don't know, just a guess, 2 to 3 months maybe.
And so they threw a number out there. Yeah, that's a little heavy. That's a little heavy. I'm going to show you the number. If my keyboard will work. Just a second. I'm going to show you the number. Okay. We are honest. We are transparent. And see, this is how it works. You start with your 2. Your 2 are going to get their 2. That's your 2nd level. That moves you up a level. Okay. Then your 2nd level gets their first 2. That moves you up to the next level. That level gets their 2. That moves you up to the 4th level. That level gets their 2. That moves you up to so now your core of 62 has brought 32 with them. Yeah, so 1,984. Simple math. 62 times 32 in your personal matrix. That's correct. Now, how fast is that going to happen? It's going to happen as fast as you decide that once you've got your first 2, that those first 2 go get their first 2, and so on and so forth. That's all we've done. And nobody has spent, David, now you do some funnel building, right?
I do.
And you teach, because I know you teach Leads Leap, and I've used Leads Leap before, so you might spend a little bit of, but for at least 90% of what you've done, how much money have you spent online to build your team to what it is right now?
Just my 129 and my 45 for the back office. That's it.
Okay, Amy
23.
Carpenter. Amy Carpenter, how much money have you spent online to build your downline of what? I think you got a couple 200, 300 now, Amy. How much money have you spent, Amy? 0. How much money, David, have I spent in marketing online for the last 8 months, building my team to now 130,000?
Big 0.
0. I just showed you that in my Facebook. And I have not used anything but Facebook. But wait a minute. I only brought 2. And who were my 2? My wife is one of them, and Amy Carpenter is the other one. And if I showed you my back office right now, you would see that I only have my 2, but my team has grown to over 130,000 in about 70 countries. And we started, this is month number 9. So what is the difference? The difference is that I am retired and I do this 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, I don't expect anybody to outwork me. I won't let anybody outwork me. But I want it that bad. I wanted it for my family because my wife is in this, and my wife has got 100,000 under her. My daughter has got 60,000 under her, and my son will soon catch up. He's only 4 months behind them. And we have only spent the investment of our one time to get into the business and some time on Facebook. And that's all anybody has done. Can you imagine, David, when we start working with the bottom 10% that are not qualified yet, and we actually start doing some paid advertising, what's going to happen next?
Oh man, that's gonna go really crazy then. But just like Les Brown says, Bob, you gotta be hungry.
You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. And like Jeff McVee told you a minute ago, time management, I teach that. It's simple math. There's only 24 hours in a day. You know how many hours you sleep? Everybody on this call has got 30 hours a week. Now, what you do with those 30 hours a week is the difference between success and lack of success. Just simple as that. And
You
where
gotta,
does the success come from besides doing it, David? How are we building people successfully?
we're teaching them what we're doing and we're duplicating.
Because at the end of the day, I am not duplicatable. David's not duplicatable. Amy's not duplicatable. Peter, you're not. Phil, you're not. RS, you're not. Melissa, you're not. The system that we use is the only thing duplicatable. And all we do is use 2 videos. The why video, that's been the company video now for 9 months, and the how-to video. Once the person understands why, they will ask you for the how are we going to do it. When they get the how are we going to do it video, they're going to have questions. And then you get them on a Zoom like this with us, or on a 2 or 3-way call in Facebook or on your phone, and we answer their questions. And 9 out of 10 times, those people that follow this process, what happens, David?
They start duplicating. It starts working, and they get excited. You know, going back to being a product of the product. Once you get this going and you get money coming in, your neighbors are going to see your new car in the driveway and the new clothes you're wearing, and your family members are going to say, "Man, what's this guy doing?" You got to be a product of the product, just like Bob was saying, and lead by example. You got to come to these training calls. You've got to put in a little time each day if you want this to work for you. So I've always said the ones that come to the training are the ones that will grow their business. You got to be hungry. You got to want it more than anything in the world.
Now, obviously, we don't have 20,000 people here at this training. We couldn't hold them if we did. And that's why we got the training platform and the communications platform that we're doing. And I don't know if Lou put that in there yet, but I'm going to put in a link for everybody, because Global Legacy Builders is my domain that I own, .net. And if you Google that name, Global Legacy Builders, Google that, and it's interesting what you come up with. Okay, one of my demographics that I attract through Facebook only. All right, enough of us talking. Last chance for a couple of questions real quick. I got a couple of minutes. Anybody else got a question for me or for David or for Lou or for Jeff? Anybody got a question? Come on now, don't be bashful. That's what this time is for. And remember, once you get onto our platform, you have access to not working. Let me see. Yeah, working for me. It went right to our room. Hang on a second.
Did it put in a different link?
Here,
You
try
may
that
just be
one.
pulling it from your cache. Let's just ask everybody to try it. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. I clicked on it and it went fine for me, right to the room.
Well, hit Control F5 and see if that'll load it from the internets again.
Control F5.
Yeah, that's a hard refresh. It says go get me the page from the internet. All right, so it's me. It's not you guys. Newt said it worked for him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Anybody else? Real quick. Any questions? Okay, so here's two things. Everybody that's already a paid member, you have got to do two things. You've got to be on that platform, and you've got to go once a day on that platform and engage with people in the communications platform. And when you go on the platform, first thing you do, if you're new, is introduce yourself. There's a tab for it. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to all the pinned posts, read every one of the pinned posts. Next thing you're going to do is go to the right side, and there's a link for your back office. You're going to go to your back office and check out the update. Inside that update, you're also going to have a link there and in our platform for the YouTube channel for our recordings. Get that and build yourself a folder in whatever mail server you use. I use Gmail. I've got folder for DesAlps, so I keep all that in my DesAlps folder. Start studying. Take that why video and listen to it as many times as you got to listen to it until you got it so ingrained in you that you not just understand why you're doing this, but you understand who you're doing it for and why you want to do it for them. Because yes, you're going to want to make money. You may need to make 500 a month extra. You may need 2,500 a month extra. You may want to make 5,000 a month extra. You might want to make 10,000. Is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. It will not happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight for me. It didn't happen overnight for Dave, for Amy, for any of us on here, for Gabby. And Gabby would be the first one to tell you that she struggled. She struggled. She struggled and struggled and struggled until she got it. And what did she get? She got it to where she understood what her daily task needed to be. And she's got a full-time job in an industry that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I love you, Gabby, but I wouldn't wish it on my first anybody. Okay. So we love her, God loves her, so do we. But she took it to heart. She took it and it made her why, because she's got a family that she wants to help. Everybody that's on this call right now knows someone or has someone that are close to them that you are obligated to do what? To help them. To help them learn how to help themselves. Help them learn how to help themselves.
It wasn't so much for the money for me because I'm almost retired. My home's paid for. I'm debt free. Here was one of the biggest reasons I got in this program. I've been in a lot of stuff online and I've made money with it. The problem was I couldn't get my people to make the money. So with this program, we're all on the same level field. We can teach, we can train, and it's a ground floor. Everybody can make money with this program. And that's what excites me, because I know I can help other people and I know they will make money. So don't think of the money too much. Think about helping others and the money will come.
Okay. RAI. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but I will address. And when you type, you don't have to type in all caps, because when you do that, I don't know if you're aware of that, but it looks like you're yelling at everybody. And so we don't yell at anybody. Okay. I see it, right? And so you're saying there is no clarity on the leaders. It's more confusion. The only confusion is people that don't do what they're asked to do. So here's the confusion. The confusion is we got people that don't think they need to go to their back office and read what? The updates. They don't think that they need to come to business meetings to hear what? Us explain what's going on. They don't think that they need to do what? To review recordings and do training. Okay? And obviously the website is not fully functional. It is not. We are in a startup. So anybody that suggested to anybody here that we are launched, we are not. We are in a startup. In startups, you have ups and downs, you have glitches, you have issues. The fact of the matter is the majority of everybody that's in this startup would have never been involved, including all of you here, had we not convinced the ownership of the Zalps that it was probably going to be a good thing. Okay. It's turned out to take longer than thought. We've had to change programmers a few times. If you've been plugged into what's going on, you would know that. Okay. If you're not plugged into what's going on, you have no idea. Now, I'm not your leader in India. Craig Linfield and Al Connolly is. And your leader in India for you is Muhammad Ghalib. Muhammad Ghalib is the leader of all of India in India. I am the leader of all of most of Des Alpes, because the whole company of Des Alpes only has 140,000 and I have 130,000. So I am the leader of Muhammad Ghalib as well. Okay, but Muhammad Ghalib works directly with Craig Linfield. So you need to go back to whoever your leadership is, and you need to find out why you're not getting the information that you need to be getting. Just simple as that. Anybody else got a question? Anybody else got a question? Thank you, Canute. The membership spending will get you took care of. We want everybody to ask questions, but we want everybody to understand that the only way that you can learn at this point in time is to be actively engaged. Okay? And what that gentleman said is not negative. It's just that he is not getting the information that he needs to get. And I will always divert each and every one of you back to your particular leaders wherever they are. And if you don't get answers, I am on Facebook. I don't hide from anybody. Anybody gets to me. I talk to a lot of different folks from India all the time. But I will always tell you the same thing. Go back to your back office and catch up on what you may not know yet. Get plugged into the trainings, because we only have a couple of people here from the team of India. And we can hold 500 people here. I can't tell you why they don't come. That's not up to me. That's up to Muhammad Ghalib and his leaders below him. I have a lady who signed up 3 times in a row because she didn't get immediate response. That will be taken care of itself, Bruce. All of that will be purged out in due time. And you can only have one position, so they never would get more than one position. And you can't get a position right now. And we're not open for free people yet either, until we get the little glitches that we still are working on, and we get the reprogrammed, and then we start paying people, which is next. They are committed to paying us, and we will start with the first 5,000 people based on that commitment, and then we will go from there. All right. We went way past an hour and a half, and I tried to tell Gary I was going to keep this at an hour, and that never happens, but that's okay. That's okay. So Again, remember this. Get on our platform if you're not on our platform. And the only way you get on our platform is you click on that link and you answer the 3 questions. And you have to be a paid member for now. We'll work on the other side. Number 1. Number 2, go in your back office and check for updates. There's a new update coming. Okay. We on our platform have the recording of last night's DisAlps update. Okay. And it's clearly in there. And so if you don't have that recording and you're not on that, then you need to go back to whomever invited you or go back to your leadership to get that information. All right. So I'm going to leave everybody like this. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. God loves you. So do I. Jesus is my boss. I can assure you of that. And the challenge to each and every one of you, I will always tell you this, is bring somebody with you the next time you come, but bring your team. David, you got anything to close out?
No, I'm good to go, my brother. I love everybody. I'm glad that all of you came, and those that show are the ones that'll grow.
That's it. Thank you, Lou. Lou Hornberger is on our senior leadership team, as well as David. He is our admin for Go High Level and our Zooms and our YouTube channel. Thank you, Jeff McBee, for stepping up tonight and giving a testimony. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. We have more to come, a lot more to come. You have no idea. Jesus is coming very soon. Amen. Good night.